Hey folks, welcome to a new video. Um, so, uh, as I think I have spoken about in a couple of videos that I'm participating in this agent harness hackathon, and as a part of this, I'm preparing some demo videos. So the purpose of this, uh, the project that I'm building is, uh, we are going to deploy a agent into TrueForge. There is a tool called TrueForge, and uh, so yeah, we're going to basically deploy a TrueForge. And what that agent is going to do is basically it's going to read a watchlist.md that's present in one of my repo. It has few stocks, some test stocks listed here, and it is going to read that and uh, let me know if we need to update anything in this or not, right? By doing some analysis. Okay. So basically, so we have two MCP servers that we have already discussed earlier. Actually, I have already created two videos regarding this. So one is how to configure TrueForge and Daytona. So TrueForge is something that tool that runs on your local. So it lets you convert your LLM into an agent, right? So whatever stuff you have, it converts into an agent, but you need to still run the agent in somewhere, right? So Daytona, helps you with that, right? So it provides you a sandbox where your agent can run. So that's the video all about. And then I spoke about couple of MCP servers that I built for this project, that is DV reader and market data fetcher. So DV reader is nothing but it reads this particular watchlist.md. It's called DV because the tool, the dividend tool that I built in this repo is called DV. Okay. um, and market data fetcher is what it does is it takes the info ticker name and does a analysis. Okay. Sorry, fetches some data about it from screener.in, and if it from screener.in, and if it doesn't, if somehow it fails, then it falls back to Y Finance. Okay. So this is the MCP server that connects to screener.in to fetch ticker information and falls back to Y Finance. And then we have a DB reader which uses GitHub auth to read the watchlist.md. Okay. So that's it. So these are the MCP servers. Now let me show you uh, the in my local code base, the coordinator agent that I'm trying to build. So this is a prompt file of that coordinator agent, right? And so if you see, it has some system prompt. Then I have listed the MCP tools and the workflow, how it's going to work through, right, stepwise. And you see that in step 3 it spawns two subagents. One that does fundamental analysis, one that does risk analysis. Okay. So these are the placeholders and their prompts is present in different files: fundamental subagent, risk subagent. Okay. And so yeah, so basically what the purpose of this video is, like, can we evaluate a prompt, right? Yes, we can do it evals, using evals. And we can write test cases for prompts, right? But in this video I'm particularly going to use Promptfoo. Promptfoo is a tool that helps us evaluating our prompts in a structured way. So this gives us confidence. Okay, so this particular prompt will behave similar no matter if I change an LLM provider. Okay. So that's what it is all about. So if you see, these are the prompts: the fundamental subagent and risk subagent prompts. What I have done is I've created a different folder called evals, where I have created two different folders for the subagents. I did not create a folder for the coordinator system prompt because that's not finalized. So subagent prompts are finalized, right? So I have the coordinator prompt is still in progress. So yeah, so these are the two folders, and this prompt.yaml just references their respective prompt files. And this there is a dummy user message so that it can trigger. uh, yeah. So in the promptfoo.yaml, there are different test cases present. uh, For example, here for fundamental subagent, so we have few test cases, and the input information is user, so that we are going to pass, and what we are going to expect in the response, that's the assertions, right? So that's how you structure your promptfoo.yaml. And once that is done, so whenever you evaluate your prompt, this assertion will be fired, and then only the test case will pass. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this. So I've written make file commands for this to trigger these evals. So I'm going to run I'm going to trigger the fundamentals one, make eval fundamentals, so it will evaluate the prompt. So if we see, one of them failed, right? 4 passed and 1 failed. I deliberately, made a what do you call it, a change, so that this will actually fail. So you can see that there is a modified file, so I made that change. What did I modify is, if you see here, this is the portion that I modified. You can see it is highlighted, right, because it is unstaged, this change. So it basically says, compute yield trend, compare the most recent value, right? But I did not make it explicit, like that we need to the dividends history, right? We need to sort it, order it, then only it can figure out the recent, right? So I did not make it explicit, so as a result it fails. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to revert it back, and I'll run the eval again, right? I'm sorry. So if I run the eval again, it should pass. Yeah, it passed this time, right? So if you see, what I did was I just mentioned order oldest first, and the last element is the most recent element. So I made it explicit so that there is no issue. So yeah, so this is how it Promptfoo helps you identify the gaps in your prompts, so that you can make assertions. So the important thing, so that you can fix your prompts, right? So the important thing is to identify what to expect from your prompt, and write test cases accordingly. Yeah. So yeah, this is all about this video, the advantages of evaluating your prompt. Thank you.